Alright guys, so we're back and we are going to wire up this this hire me form in here to a service called GetForm. So again, I can express this enough. This is not the professional way of doing things. This is just so you can have your site up and running and have some kind of functionality to it. Okay, you want something better than this. Okay, you want something, if you're building this for a client, or if you're doing this in a professional world for an employer, do not even suggest to your employer that this is how you're going to build an email form. Nor will they even assign it to you. They will probably have a back-end developer creating an API endpoint and creating all kinds of stuff for you to use in the email, so that way all you have to worry about is basically just building the front end and collecting all this information that is here and sending it in the API to the API endpoint that the backend guy built for you, and they'll handle the email sending part and all that. But if you are going to be in a position of a full stack, or you're going to be the one that is going to be doing this entire thing, because it's like a freelance business that you got going on or something like that, then maybe you should start learning how to build your backend as well. All right, but for the time being, like I said, just to get this thing working, we're going to do this with a service called GetForm. So let's get started, and we're gonna go to getform.io. So once you get there, you're gonna see this, and you're gonna sign up. It's pretty easy. You just fill out your information, and then I'll show you, once you have your stuff working, what you're going to see. So I already have my email. I'm already signed up, so I'm just gonna get there just like that. And then when you do get there, what you want to do is start a new form here on this plus. So you put your form name in there, and then you create the form. Okay, so I'm not going to go through this part because I already have one created, but it's basically going to redirect you to an actual form here. I want to see my documentation. Oh, right here. Okay. So yeah, so you'll be in this screen. I think you'll be sent directly to your settings. If not, if you're at the submissions part here, or even here, just click on the form you created and then click on settings. This is the part that you want to get to. All right, so now we're going to, you basically see in here how it's going to be set up. It's going to ask you to put this special address here that is going to be different for you. This is mine, and it's going to ask you to not forget your name on the attribute for every input, which we added. So if you remember, we can close the styles now. So if you remember, we came and added name, telephone, and name email. We added all this, name fields to our code, right? So basically, we have that going on. We didn't add an action and a method post to the form tag here. We didn't add that. But we're not going to do that because we're not going to build it this way. We're going to do a different kind of integration. So if you're going to do any type of file upload, there's a way to do it through here. But if you're not going to do a file upload, you can just disregard that. So we're going to go to integration guides, and we're going to look at Gatsby here. And that's going to open up. And the first part of this documentation is going to tell you how you start a Gatsby application. We've already been through all of this. So we don't need to know how to set up a Gatsby page, how to develop all that, how to create one. We already did all that. What we need to do is get to here. We need to know how to get to the actual page. So I'm going to go ahead and make this a little smaller here so we can actually follow it. And I'm also going to make this a little smaller and close my window up here. All right, so we're going to do some code up here so we can get the styles down, and then we have to bring in a few things. So first of all, we got to bring in the use state. So that's one new thing that we had to add to the page that we didn't have before. Is to React, we gotta add the use state right here. All right, I like my proper spacing, so. All right, so we're bringing the use state to that. And then we're also going to bring Axios into the mix. And this, what Axios does is it basically makes connections to APIs and things like that. So like asynchronous connections, and it's just a better way to use the AJAX form. So you can do it with HTTP AJAX connections, or you can do it with Axios. Axios to me is much simpler and cleaner way to make these connections. Okay, everything looking good so far? Sure. All right, so now the next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna add some of the stuff as well. So right on the above your page, this is where your actual page HTML is, and this is your style. So right in between here, you can start adding your code. So first thing, and I'm then just gonna retype all this. I'm just gonna copy paste it and then explain it. And you can do exactly the same, because a lot of this is gonna be the same thing for you. So you're creating a couple of states, okay, that you're going to be using in this. One state is going to be the status of your site, and then the submitting. So you want to initially set up your first state, your initial state when you load the site. The submitting will be false, and then the status will be null. Eventually, once you hit an event that is going to trigger the send button is going to trigger it, this state, that is going to send kind of like a mutation to this state right here, and it's going to tell this state, when you click on the event, submitting true, that's what makes it submit, and then the status changes from null to, like okay or error or anything. Okay if it's good, error maybe if it's false, if it's if it's something didn't send message instead of error in their case. All right, so the next one is the next block is going to be that one. So we're going to add this one here. So this is how you handle the server response, and it's pretty much, they're pretty semantic about the way they name this thing, so it's good. And then there's three arguments in here, okay, message, and form. So basically this is what is going to change the status and then do something depending on the status. And if the status is okay, reset the form. So if it sends, it clears the form out, and now you can, just send another message again if you want to. If it is not okay, it's not going to clear it. It's going to keep the stuff that you filled out on the screen. It's going to keep it there, but it's going to send you a message telling you that something went wrong. And then you can go and update the message and, make sure you send it right. And then the last thing is going to be this. I'm going to put that in there. So this is where it gets a little trickier, guys. Before we talk about this right here, this number right here, erase this, okay? Erase this and use the actual one that you got in when you set it up, okay? And the way you find this is in your main screen here, this one, and the very first one on the setup. So this one that you got here, this one is mine, but yours. Use yours right here, okay? So use that and replace it in here for this one, or it just won't work if you don't do this, okay? All right, so basically what this is just going to prevent the default action for the button that is going to fire this handle on submit. And then in a variable, we're gonna basically bring in the default target value of that input field, which is basically a click. And then we're gonna set the server to submit into true. So basically now here's where we're saying, okay, when you click the button, right, don't do anything else other than capturing the this click event that I'm going to give you, and then on that click event, I want you to change or mutate this state to true. So I want you to start sending it. Now on that sending, I want you to make an access connection of method post to this URL, which is basically an API endpoint. And I want you to send there this data, which is going to be the form data that is inside my form in a new object. So then you have here a promise that is going to return if it's good or if it's wrong, if it passed. So then if the handle response, if the response that you're getting back and the promise is good, show this thing that says thanks right next to the button, I guess, and whatever they put it, and say thanks, great, awesome, thanks, I don't know, email sent, whatever you want to put, whatever message you want there. And if it doesn't, catch the error into this variable here, right? This variable is going to hold whatever response you get back. So this could be it could be response, it could be anything you want. Resolve, could be anything. So this is just a letter, it's just a variable. So either give to R the value of thanks or great, awesome, good job, sent, whatever you want, if the handle response is true, or give this R the error, the actual error that the server sent back to you in the response, if that response is false. That way you know what the error is. And if you really want to know what the error is and you don't want to see it on the screen, you can just come over here and console log it. You can just basically do something as simple as this and then console log the error in there, and then you'll have the console log error on the screen. However, that's only going to happen when the user actually attempts to send an email out. You're never going to know when any user is trying to send you an email. So this is really not going to help you. It helps you now for development while you're trying it out, while you're developing this section, so you can see your error as the user. You know, as you act as the user, you get to see the error. But what I'm saying is it's not going to actually work once it's in production, and because this is only console logged on that particular session that is failing. Okay, meaning whenever the user tried to send an email and it didn't work, it's gonna show up in their console log. You're never gonna know this happened. Okay, so if you really want to start logging some errors of all your users and things like that, there's a better way and a different way to do this, and obviously it has to be done with the back end, not with this. All right, so but for development purposes, absolutely, you can use a console log to see what kind of errors you're getting back. Okay, so we got this going, right? And that part is fine. So we're gonna keep going, and then now here, see, one thing new in the form is going to be the onSubmit. So this onSubmit, this handle onSubmit is basically this event right here, this function, this huge function here. Okay, so what you're going to do is you're going to tell the form that once that onSubmit fire this this function, and we know that the submit is going to be triggered because we gave this send a type of submit. So this is what is going to make the onSubmit, you know, the action of this button, an onSubmit action. And then the last thing we want is to actually show this message. So you can show this message next to the button if you want to, whatever you want it really. In this case, they have it like right next to the button. So you can have it right there, right next to the button, or you can have it in a different message, in a different grid. I think I have mine in the button as well too. I got lazy with it and I didn't really feel like, because it's just a little tiny word. It just says thanks, no big deal. But for you guys, I'm going to actually put it in a different place. So we're going to put it in its own grid in there and tab into it. Okay. And instead of a p tag or whatever, it's going to be a typography of variant body 1. Okay. Yep, typography very well. Okay, that has already its closing tag. Perfect. Class name, status is okay, then yes, blah 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 blah. All that is fine. All right, cool. So now instead of showing right next to the button, it's gonna show in the bottom. So whatever. Okay. So, and there's nothing else. This was basically the end of it at the form. So it explains here that the endpoint right here needs to be your unique form endpoint. It's talking about this one. So that's very crucial information right there. So don't forget that. All right. And I'm going to go ahead and save this. And this is already going to be pretty much working, but you're not going to see anything. You're not really going to see it working. Now, if you want to see it working, if you want to see how it would work, okay, I'm going to use basically one for myself. So I'm just going to refresh my own here. And I'm going to send myself a message. So Louis, and my phone number is 717-123-4567. And my email is going to be louis@email.com. And hello from, oops, hello. Okay, hello from Gatsby tutorial. Hello from Gatsby tutorial, and then hit send. And then once I hit send, you see that thanks here next to the button. Well, for you guys, it's going to be like in the bottom here somewhere. Okay. So now when you go to the forms and look at you will have basically this. You will have in your GetForm account, you will have 2 submissions in there that you can click on, and you can see the one that I did when I was building a test, and then here's my other email. It says hello from Gatsby tutorials and all that jazz. So that basically just shows that it works. Okay. And again, it's good enough to get your messages, and get at least but you still have to come over here and check this to actually get your messages, to get the body of your message and what was sent to you and things like that. It's not the kind of thing that, like I say, you're not gonna be able to get this in your actual email, I don't think. So it's just to get your stuff working, not something again that you want to have in the professional world. Okay. So we are pretty much done, guys. This was amazing. I had a lot of fun. I hope you guys did too. I'm sorry for my long talks, and I'm a talker, I know. I just hate just boring, like I hate that stuff. All right, so one thing that we have been forgetting to do, and I am so sorry about that, I should have been a lot more diligent about that part, is we have not been updating GitHub, and that was crazy. We should have been doing that on every video. I have to get better at it. So this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna send the stuff now while it's still working and it's not broken. Thankfully, it didn't break on us. Otherwise, it would have been in problems and a lot of trouble. But it didn't break on us, so that's good. So let's do it now while we're ahead, and git add. Make sure it connects. Okay, got all the stuff in there, and then we're gonna go to git commit. Find it, going up. It's not even there. All right, so we're gonna go git commit to the master, and then we're gonna say finished site, and it's going to create a lot of stuff because we haven't done this in a while. So 23 files change, 1,768 insertions, 49 deletions. Yeah, we haven't updated this for a while. And then git push. All right, and then that will continue to work, and it's at 100%, and everything's fine. Remote, resolving deltas, everything is perfect, no errors, everything is updated. So now that we have that updated, now on the next video, we're going to talk about how to actually deploy your beautiful project to the internet, to the interwebs, so everyone can see it and everyone can see your stuff and all that stuff. All right, guys, I'll talk to you in the next one.